Okay, part 3 here. So if you read these statements here, it just says circle which one is correct. Okay, it's talking about the speed. Okay, Robbie's average speed was greater between this time than it was between this time. Or here it says it was the same between these two times. Here it's saying it's less. And here it's saying it's not possible to tell. Well, if we look at these times, the speed you can actually work out. It's not difficult to work out. Okay. So if you look at the between 8 and 9, well, that's 1 hour, isn't it? And if you look at the distance travelled between 8 and 9, it's 2.5. Okay, so he's done 2.5 miles in 1 hour. So that's the speed, isn't it? 2.5 miles hour. Speed is distance over time. Okay, speed is distance over time. So the distance is 2.5 divided by 1. So speed there is 2.5. Now over here, the time is an hour again, but this time the distance is only 1.5. So it'll be 1.5 over 1, which is 1.5. So actually, his speed there is greater, isn't it? Okay. The other way we can tell as well is the steepness of the line. Okay. The steeper the line, the faster you go. Now it's not that easy to actually see here which is steeper. That obviously is steeper. It's not that easy, but looking at the speeds, you can see that one is faster. So when we look here, average speed was greater, yeah, between 8 and 9 than it was between 5 and 6. Part B, it says the travel graph shown is correct. Robbie is 11 years old and tells his teacher, I walked to school but actually had to run fast for the last 15 minutes to get there on time. And then he says, I didn't leave the school classroom all day. For each statement, decide whether he was telling the truth. So, if we look at this one here, I walked to school but I ran for the last 15 minutes. Is this true? Well, look at this here. He walked to school and ran for the last 15 minutes. Well, if you look at that there, okay, that is a straight line here. It doesn't change, right? The steepness doesn't change. Now remember, the steepness tells us how fast he's going. Steepness is the same all the way, isn't it? So that means he was going at a constant speed. Okay, so he probably walked all the way. It wasn't a point where the line became steeper all of a sudden, which meant he was running. It's the same steepness all the way. Okay, so he's actually not true, isn't he? He walked to school all the way. So here it's not true. Okay, he walked all the way to school because his speed stayed constant. Okay, it stayed the same. Okay, that's what we mean by constant. It stayed exactly the same all the way. I stayed in the classroom all day. Well, clearly here, if you look at all day there was a point there where actually he got further away. Remember now, this axis here is measuring the distance from his house. So in the middle of the day here, he actually got further away from his house. So whether he popped out, maybe he was allowed to go out. So he went further away from his house there. So that's not true, isn't it? Not true again, because during the day, in fact during the hours between 12 noon and 1 p.m, he was further away from his house.